A man just wanted a sip of water during his flight when he suddenly noticed his fingernails rapidly turning black. Being a doctor, he immediately realized this was a symptom of severe oxygen deprivation. But before he could think of what to do, the water bottle in his hand began to warp, while the cup on his tray table started violently shaking. The flight attendant noticed something was wrong. She quickly sat down and fastened her seatbelt, urging passengers to secure theirs as well. Little did she know it was already too late. In the next moment, the plane entered a turbulent air layer. Instantly, water floated out of cups, and passengers who hadn't fastened their seatbelts were sucked upward by the strong decompression. The entire cabin began to shake violently. Passengers were terrified by what they saw, fighting to survive. They could only grip the armrests tightly, silently praying they would make it through safely. The pilot recognized the crisis, quickly putting on his oxygen mask. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling due to decompression. Passengers rushed to put them on, but Jack's wife hadn't managed to get oxygen yet, and lost consciousness from lack of air. What no one realized was that a young woman was in the bathroom. The violent turbulence made it impossible for her to open the door. Eventually she passed out on the floor from oxygen deprivation. Jack, trying to save his wife, shakily made his way to the flight attendant station, found an emergency oxygen bottle, and quickly put it on his wife, saving her from certain death. Incredibly, after several minutes of violent turbulence, the cabin pressure miraculously returned to normal. Flight 7500 had survived a disaster. To reassure the passengers, the captain immediately made an announcement, explaining they had encountered a storm while crossing an air current, which damaged one of the plane's seals, causing the cabin pressure problems. He assured everyone emergency repairs had been made, and they would lower altitude to stabilize pressure, telling passengers not to worry. Only then did everyone finally breathe a sigh of relief. Soon after, a flight attendant discovered the girl who had passed out in the bathroom, frantically giving her emergency oxygen. Miraculously, the girl regained consciousness. Everyone thought the nightmare was over, but little did they know, strange events were just beginning for many on the plane. A young man sneaked upstairs earlier when the crew was moving the body. He had noticed an extremely valuable gold watch on the dead man's wrist. He planned to quietly take it. After removing the watch, instead of leaving immediately, he recklessly took out his phone to commemorate his theft. On camera, he kept showing off, even starting to insult the deceased. Then suddenly, the corpse turned its head and stood up, terrifying the young man into a blood-curdling scream. Meanwhile, a flight attendant in the cabin encountered something bizarre, spotting a fighter jet outside the window. In the cockpit, the signals mysteriously deteriorated, making it impossible to contact ground control. Even more frightening, when the flight attendant returned to the business class cabin, she discovered the corpse had mysteriously disappeared, and the young watch thief was nowhere to be found.